Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Start of another week on Phil's V10 M3 project. So after what I'm going to class as a great success last week in getting the back wheels reattached, this week we're going to be mostly concentrating on the mess that is the interior, and also we're going to try and fit all the ABS system, maybe try and make some front brake pipes, just get everything ready for when the new subframe comes. Right, so I started by refitting the braking system, DSC system, started feeding some wiring through into the engine bay, although this wiring is all looking sort of 20 years old now, so I think I'm going to end up retaping that to make it look a little nicer. We had a bit of a discussion yesterday because this is a very early car. It'd be a Y plate, very early 2001 M3, one of the first. Came with what I think is an MK60 ABS system. We had discussions about whether we were going to fit let me see if I can aim this, MK60 version, which is what Phil runs on the E30 M3. You can, it's tunable. You can program it these days for better performance. But decided, because this is not a dedicated track car, it's just a road car, MK20 will be fine, which saved me quite a lot of work because I think there's something like 47 wires which needed extending from that side of the engine bay over to in here, so I don't have to do that now, so that's cool. Next thing, let me just nip inside and I'll show you the next thing. So in this build, we're going to be converting back to drive-by-wire. This originally had a cable throttle conversion, just because that was what was available at the time. This was built pre people being able to reprogram the factory E60 ECU to run on different cars. This was the only way at the time we could find to do it. So things have moved on a bit, and we now have the option of running the factory throttle motors. So that's what we're going to do. We've been asked by KMS to fit E90 pedal, which is this, but it's completely different mounting to the E46 one, which just clips into the floor there, and then the motor bolts up to the bulkhead back there. Hopefully we can just reuse a E46 one, because that'd save quite a lot of time and work, but otherwise I've got to make this work, which will require some brackets, but whatever, we can do that. Next problem, before I actually get on with some work today, there was extra wiring that needed to come through from this wiring box into the engine bay. The pegtail basically has two round plugs the pegtail has two round plugs that need to come through, which were mounted in this area somewhere, but it looks like an animal's eating a hole in the ECU box, so I'm going to tidy that up, because can't live with that this time around, can we? Clean all this overspray off this thing, hopefully, and then we'll get on with feeding some more wiring back into the engine bay. At 30 years of age we were animals, but I fixed it now. Anyway, moving on. That's the next task complete. The ABS unit is now mounted in the car. Had to make a couple of little changes to the bracket, but whatever, we're in. It's been moved from the factory position. Last time this was built, it was moved up and away so that it would clear the cylinder head. So it's back where it was before with a new bracket. Next job, it's going to be quite a long one, I'm sure. Go through all this wiring, wipe it all down, and then if there's any bits like, I just saw one, if there's any bits like this that need either retaping or reheat shrinking, I'm going to do that before I feed it through into the engine bay. So yeah, I'm sure I'm going to be here for a while, but it'll be worth it. Well, that's the wiring pretty much now pulled through and tidied up. Next task, more brake pipes. So no pressure, but we can see these ones, so they have to run nicely through this divider here, across the back there, and into those with matching gaps between them, and perfectly straight. So I feel it might be a long day, but let's see how we get on. Back in the mangle. Lovely. I've spent a bit of time using the flimsy copper pipe that we had left over from something else, just to mock up how I want this to look, give me something to aim for basically. So we're going for basically that look across here with a few less kinks in it and a little bit neater, but that's what I'm going to go for. So all that's left to be done is get the tougher pipe out and actually start making these things. 3 down, 3 to go. Like I said, it's going to be quite a long day. Takes quite a long time if you want to make them look like your car didn't just fail the MOT on brake pipes and someone smashed them onto pass. But anyway, moving on. I'll do the next long one next. Just a little tip if you're going to go through this. If you get some of the super cheap copper brake pipe, it's much easier to work with and form. So I've been using just small cuts of that basically to make templates, so we can then copy them in the stuff that we're actually going to use. So yeah, that seems to be working quite nicely. We're getting there with that lot now. Just waiting for some clips for this one to come off the printer so that I can clip them all together, but apart from that, it's going to be done soon. What an absolute mission, but you know, it's been a solid couple of days on this now to get it to this point, and I think I'm just about going to be able to sleep at night. It looks, I'm going to say, respectable. I'm quite happy with it. Obviously there's things that I hate because that's how it is when you make things, but generally that's good. So on to the next thing. So next on my list of things to do is sort this mess out. Yeah, the interior needs cleaning up, so get everything out. I'm going to hoover it out, and then if there's any paint and whatever that needs touching up, I'll deal with that. But let's remember the carpet's going back on top of this, so as long as it's, you know, sealed and not looking disgusting, then hopefully that's going to be fine. So here we go again. Moving forwards, it's now time to finish the wiring on the Bimmerworld in-tank or twin-tank pump kit. So it's pretty straightforward. Swap this wiring plug for this one by joining those wires, and then splice the second pump wires into the power and earth on the original pump. So let me go and get some heat shrink and tools and stuff, and I'll get on with that. Easy as that. That's that task finished. The inside looks a lot tidier. The wiring's gone back in its natural place along the sides. Sound deadening's back in. Floor's been wiped off. We still need to decide what kind of sound deadening matting that we're going to use to replace the factory stuff, so that still needs to be done. But other than that, that's almost ready for carpet. So I'm going to call this one here. All being well, we've got some very exciting news coming tomorrow, so that finishes this piece off, and I'll see you again next week with what will hopefully be a very straightforward and pleasant experience for myself. So thanks for watching. Remember to visit driftworks.com, look at the pretty pictures and maybe buy yourself something nice. Follow the big boss man, Phil Morrison DW, on the gram. That's me out. See you next week. Keep smiling. Thumbs up.
At Driftworks, we've helped over 50,000 happy customers since 2004. Our huge online parts store is simple to use, with superb shipping rates to anywhere in the world, and finance options available for UK customers. We live and breathe wheel fitment, so if you have any questions about your own car or any of our products before placing an order, please drop us an email at shop@driftworks.com or give us a call. Thanks for watching.